Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Zoning and Planning Board. Would everyone please stand up and pledge allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And happy Flag Day to everyone. It is Flag Day today, so that's a good thing. May we please have a statement of public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act has been given by the Secretary in the following manner: posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office, emailed to the Retrospect and Courier Post. Do we have roll call, please, Mrs. Pinto?
Chairperson Cleveland?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Bushin? Here. Mr. Wachowski?
Here.
Mr. Walperly?
Here.
Chief Daly?
Here.
Mayor Kapadas?
Here.
Mr. Ranieri?
Here.
Mr. Vanella?
Here.
Mr. Stone?
Here.
Mr. Rowan?
Here.
Mr. Knight?
Here.
And
Mr. Betts excused? Yes. Thank you. A motion is in order for the approval of the minutes of the April 12th meeting. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Gushin, second by Mr. Ranieri. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Do we have any old business? Okay. Do we have any new business? New business is the swearing in of Dennis Vanella for the expired term of Mr. Fullerton. So if Mr. Rowan would be so kind.
Oh, Dennis, I want to ask
You're a lawyer. Sit down.
to repeat after me when you state your full name. I
Dennis Vanella,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of New Jersey,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and I will be a true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will perform all the duties
and I will perform all the duties
of the office of member
of the office of member
of the Planning and Zoning
for the
Board
Planning and Zoning Board
for the Borough of
for
Runnemede
the Borough of Runnemede
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
John.
I have a record that's signed here, and I'll give that to Joyce, so she'll have that for.
And next month you'll sit up here, Dan, because we don't have a chair. It's going to be a short meeting, so we don't need to.
We'll take out the ALT.
Yeah. Joyce will take care of that. Get you a new placard.
All right.
Mayor, are we? I don't see Dan here tonight. Is Dan still interested? Do you think?
Oh, the young man?
Dan White? Yeah.
We do have someone interested in being another alternate, the idea, but I did not invite him this evening, but I
Okay.
want to talk to him a little bit
Well,
more.
we're seeking a second alternate to replace Mr. Vanella, so hopefully that will come to fruition in the next couple of months. I know it's summertime, everybody's busy, so we're working on that. I have nothing to report. Communications, Joyce? Okay. Anything on good and welfare?
Well, I'll let everybody know that the Cooper Urgent Care will have its grand opening on June 22nd. Freeholder Director Capelli will be there, the president of Cooper Hospital, I think it's her name, it was a woman who's the president. So they're doing a little grand opening. I haven't gotten all the details, but, we'll make sure that we advertise.
What day of the week is that?
27th, I think is a Tuesday.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
No.
No?
Of June,
Yes,
it's a Monday.
it's a Monday.
Send me a reminder.
Yeah, I'll try to remind, I'll send it
I'll
to
try
Joyce.
to be there.
Does anybody know if the format of this place is just an in-and-out clinic, or is it going to be also for family medical?
Tuesday.
Don't know.
Be nice.
To Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Is
thank
it
you.
Tuesday?
We'll find that out, I guess. Huh?
That's our focus.
Yeah, and then, well, it's in the morning, so I think it's at 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's just a notification.
And then the chairwoman had asked me about Caliber Collision. I did speak to the gentleman at one point because we did have an issue with the property not having the grass cut. And so Public Works actually cut the grass in the median area between the curb and the sidewalk before the Memorial Day service. And then they came like a couple days later and cut it. From what I understand, even though they have approved from this, they don't have final settlement yet. They haven't had a transfer. So at least that's what I think he said to me. Yeah, so I was kind of surprised.
Communication from John regarding, I guess, other things that had to be completed or revised.
I saw that email.
Site plan.
Yeah, I mean, they're going forward. You can see they're trying to advertise for employees and.
I thought they were pretty high for the job.
Yeah. And then just to update everyone on the redevelopment and master plan review, Mr. Bach's office is pretty much getting things together. They're going to give us some preliminary information, and then we'll bring it all to the board. I don't assume we have to have a special meeting or anything like that. We can just bring it here maybe the next regular meeting, unless there's some reason to do it sooner or something like that. But as soon as I get something, I'll make sure I let everybody know. And other than that,
George, we're more or less over, bless you. We did all the resolutions last month, correct? Okay.
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
before we close the meeting, I just wanted to speak to the board on an application that's coming up next month.
Yes.
We were contacted, apparently they got their papers in right at the deadline, but they didn't have the papers to John. I spoke to Jennifer, she's the attorney that's representing the folks there, and
It's the minor subdivision?
minor subdivision, and she said, David, she said, it does not look like Runnemede has a requirement in their ordinance that minor subdivisions require notice. Just like I want to, in Title 40, although we're used to always giving notice, everybody within 200 feet publishing the newspaper, which is a state statute, there's 3 exceptions that are carved out. One for a change of use site plan, minor. One for a minor subdivision without variances, and one, an application to extend a previously granted variance or use variance or site plan for an additional 5 years. I told her that was correct, and I said, but because she was confused whether she had to advertise. I said, I want to speak to my folks at the next meeting. We don't have in our ordinance anything that says, oh, by the way, the statute says, even though it's carved out, we're going to let the borough or the municipal government, local government decide whether they want to. We don't have anything in our ordinance that says for like minor subdivisions that requires.
but it requires no variance.
No, it doesn't require, this application doesn't require variance. Now, I told her, I said, listen, if I'm going to ask my board, do you have a problem if they would prefer you to advertise? And I said, I think traditionally they always have. I don't recall us having a minor subdivision for a few years. And she was okay with that. But if the board is going to request, I can tell her, advertise.
Well, 2 questions. She owns the property, she has the right to subdivide it, correct?
Right,
That's the first caveat. Second caveat is, how much does it typically cost someone to advertise everyone within 200?
Well, certified mail is at least $6 or $7 a letter.
I just did it for one day, and we have an application to the office down in Mays Landing, it's about $6.70.
Yeah.
And then the Runnemede, the newspaper, is $50, $60. It's not a huge amount of money, but it is a little bit of an inconvenience. The only reason I'll interject in this is if what you're telling me, the statute says that there's no variance required.
Yeah,
Then there's no reason to.
The exist-
360.
You want me to read this?
What's
The
that?
existing lot is 13,951.71 square feet. One lot would be 6,000 square feet, and the other lot would be 79.
So
So they're already conforming.
So there is no
So they're conforming.
They're conforming lots.
No,
But the reason they're not here has nothing to do with the advertising, it has to do with John not getting the
What happened,
information.
Dick, when she called the attorney, and once again, she's very nice, friend, she says, David, she says, I don't have time to advertise. She said, but I think if I don't have required variances, I don't think I have to. I said, I'll look at our ordinance because the statute says that the town has the right to make it a requirement. And I said, I'll get back to you. So that's why I thought it was being.
So that's the first time we looked at it.
She didn't advertise. Because when I called Joyce, she said, no, Dave, it was because we couldn't get it to John.
Right.
And I said, okay. So she was waiting, I'm gonna call her tomorrow.
How about code E 360, wouldn't it be in there?
What's that?
In 395 code, building code?
395 is the, no, it comes under actually Dick 331, chapter, subdivision of land and site plan review. And it specifies in here on, let's see, 3313, classification of an application, the Board of Adjustment can classify it as a minor, which it is a minor. It goes on what they have to present, but it doesn't say anything about how to advertise. It's confusing because when we go to 3322, it talks of major subdivisions, and then 23 says notice and hearing that the developer has to serve within 200 feet. But that's, I think, pertaining to major subdivisions. Doesn't say.
Well, maybe we can clean that up on, when we redo the master plan, we should probably make a note
But
to
she's
clean that up.
willing to publish and give notice if we require.
I personally, in my opinion, we can ask anybody on the board that have any problem, but I personally think somebody who owns the land, they have the right to subdivide it, and if the lots are going to be already conforming without any variances, I think that's asking the applicant to spend money they didn't have to spend, in my opinion. Anybody?
And I'll
Mike.
let her know
Yeah, I don't
that.
agree with that.
And I told her, I said, look, you can't come in and then surprise that you need.
Ask for
a
variance, yeah.
Right.
I said, it's gotta be strict, and it
Right.
is a matter of right to do that, subdivision, your land, as long as you're
Yeah.
conforming. And she said, no, she said, yeah, absolutely, all he wants to do is subdivide. In fact, I think the plans for whatever house is gonna be there is within the setback.
Yeah, and it's funny you guys are saying, now that you're telling me this, I know this is not that old, but 1993, this actually happened to me in Hatton Heights. The person I was buying a lot from had to subdivide it. And we didn't put notices out because it was a conforming lot. I never realized that.
Yeah.
Because when I do sign variances all the time, we have to notify everybody. Because normally we're not conforming. And I agree with you, they're not asking us for anything other than the permission to do what they're allowed to do.
And that's all I would want. What's that?
You're not gonna build it, it's like a lot that's gonna have to worry about utilities and curbs.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna, I mean.
They very well may be.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, maybe, but then that's a separate application.
That's fine. If they wanna come in, if they need side yard.
Yeah, if they sell it,
Depending on the building.
that's all new, that's all new.
Are they doing it with the tax, no? They're not gonna.
Well, I'm gonna ask that she has.
Well, the ordinance does
They
say
paid the money for that.
they paid for the
They
$75.
paid
For the what?
the money for the tax map revisions,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, they already did that.
They gave Joyce the $75 to update the tax map if and when they get approved.
Included with the other fees, they.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna, barring whether John has any problem with it, I'm gonna call her tomorrow and say, look, the board feels that you do not have to advertise because there's no variances, and they're waiving any.
Yep, and they're conforming, the key is, in my mind, the key is they're gonna be two conforming lots.
Yeah.
If that wasn't the case,
That's
I
the
would
exception.
request them to please
We're public
notify.
notice of the hearing, and I'm reading from Title 40, with the notice of development, et cetera, you have to, with the following exceptions. One, and then two, minor subdivision pursuant to.
There's no impact on any of the neighbors anyway.
No, they have a right to, they have a right to get a subdivision for a minor.
If they decide to build on it, then it's a different situation.
If they build on it and they come in for a permit, they're within our setbacks, they don't have to come before.
No.
They just build on
But if they need a variance, they come.
it. Then.
But they're trying to build within a different setback from the side yard,
Then
and
it would
front
have-
yard, then they got it.
But that's the idea, that the zoning officer looks at it to make sure it fits on the.
They are planning to build on.
They do a plan, go
Well,
ahead.
they were so interested in getting this done, that they wanted
Right.
to know if they could make settlement before it was ever approved.
That's their risk, that's your own risk.
I said, why would you want to do that?
All right, well, I thank you for that. Anything on good and welfare? Well,
Mr. McIntyre said he couldn't,
Well, we weren't sure if someone was going to come this evening to ask the board a question, and he did not show up. So Chris had advised someone that the permit that he'd given them was adequate for what he was doing, but if he wanted to do more, this board would have to approve
yeah, they
it.
wanted to close it.
Yeah, and then he's
They
not
got it.
here, so there's no reason to have a conversation.
Right, so he had to go.
Yeah.
I just like to know
Can I
that he was
ask
here,
the-
he intended to take care of it.
I have all the plans and matters for this upcoming.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
appropriate to give it out to the board yet, since John's not written his letter yet?
Oh, yeah, I think you can get it.
He usually sends it to us later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if John, what he's gonna really say.
It says you're gonna conform, hopefully.
Yeah, that.
We'll do a review letter and hopefully it'll be
Yeah, we're
okay.
not voting on it tonight.
No.
This is just a procedural discussion.
But now he's a churning engineer, he'll write that if they develop it, they'll need sidewalks, curbs, you know what I'm talking about, right? I had that happen to me too.
A question,
Yes, Dan.
I don't know, Keith, if it's been cut, but across from the vault, that little lot in the corner?
They've been
It's gotta be
cited,
4 feet high.
they've been cited, and there's,
Who owns that, Keith? I mean, is it a private?
I would take a look at the record. I know there's a violation went out to the, and we have a
Good thing.
exact report today.
Good thing.
Because a lot of properties are not complying, getting this violation, that may be one of them. I'll check.
I'm not going to jail with that.
Is there enough down there?
Okay, I don't know what these box associate things are. So this is the conforming property.
Something about tax shit back.
One last thing on good and welfare, just let everybody know, and the audience who's watching, is Joyce. She's gonna have Joyce report on our vacant, abandoned property registration. You wanna report to the planning board?
This spot is here, that's Paul's.
Yeah, there's a chief here.
Do you wanna report our progress on this ordinance? The vacant properties, you wanna let everybody know how we were doing with it?
The first month,
Talking to my
collected
people.
$22,000 in fees. And just now, we have the second month is another $8,000, so $30,000 by pairing up with the county and this company that's out of Florida, I think they are. Yes, and they take $100, they charge a $500 registration fee every 6 months.
We charge a $500 registration fee.
Well, we're not doing anything. They're doing all the billing. They get $100 out of it, and we get $400 for every property, so.
So it was a good move, it's a good move we made.
Yeah. it turns
And it offsets our cost to cut the grass, if we don't get reimbursed, the time that Mr. Knight and Mr. Mecca might have to deal with it. And it helps us hopefully with the database of who these people are. That was always a big challenge. I don't know how successful it's been for you to look at that information. I know you're a little slow right now.
Yeah, we're still working on getting that together.
So it's on this side of the pipe.
But Dennis, I mean, how many the properties have gone down? And this registration hopefully is going to push people to start putting these properties up.
Have you noticed a change in them around town? Is there-
I've seen some, at least in my, few properties that moved, right?
Changing.
Properties are turning over,
Yeah.
these abandoned
I
ones.
mean, we're, residential wise, we're probably the lowest we've been in 10 years
Good.
for properties for sale.
Yeah, you're
Now,
right.
again, I'm not counting ones like he's talking about that are abandoned or
Right.
aren't on the market, but just regular resale or down, which is good.
That's very good.
We've had 2 long-time abandoned properties, people come in, got certificate of
And that's nice.
occupancy. So,
You know,
it's been abandoned since 2009.
Dennis, one theory someone said to me was that the banks are trickling these properties out so that they don't flood the market with a lot of properties at one time. Does that
could
make
be-
sense?
That could be in New Jersey. We're the worst, from what I read.
So they're only letting a few go at a time, because if they put all 30 up,
Yeah.
there'd be a glut of,
But they go, as they come up, I'm telling you, people are bidding on them.
Yeah, they're good.
so that's
That's a
great.
good thing. Get rid of it.
All right, well, with that, couple things. I will not be here next month. I'm going to be with Yogi Bear at Yellowstone Park. I wish you all happy Father's Day, all my wonderful fathers up on the board. Get a motion to adjourn? Joe and Deb. I gotta stop that. Public portion, there's nobody out there, so I'm ignoring the public portion, I apologize. Dan,
For the record.
is there a motion to close the?
I make a motion.
All right, Mayor and Mr. Dickinson, all in favor of closing?
Aye.
All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
7:19?